A good Erev Shabbos on this July 4th weekend. It's also Erev Rosh Chodesh. Tonight is Rosh Chodesh. Tomorrow and Sunday is Rosh Chodesh Tammuz. We usher in the new month of Tammuz. May it be a month of redemption, a month of healing for the Jewish people. It's also the Shabbos before the Lubavitcher Rebbe's Yahrzeit. Our dear Rebbe, our beloved Rebbe, our master, our teacher, spiritual leader, who impacted my life and the life of every Chabad rabbi and all those impacted through them in such a tremendous way. And I wanted to just share a little thought that connects with this week's Torah portion and leadership and what the Rebbe taught us. You know, Korach rebels against Moses. And many of the Chassidic masters say that Korach was rebelling against the whole concept of having a spiritual leader, a guide. He said, we're all God's people. Who needs a Rebbe? Who needs a leader? And of course, Moses and Korach go through the whole story where the ground swallows Korach and his people. And then afterwards, God says to Moses, tell Aaron and all the leaders of all the tribes to bring their stick, kachas mateu, their stick, their staff, and put it in the holies, in the Bet HaMikdash overnight. And the one that comes out and suddenly grows on it, right? A stick is dead, it's dead wood. But if it comes back to life and it grows upon it, then you'll know that they're the true leader. And of course, they all take their sticks, and the next morning, Moses comes and brings out the sticks, and they see the sticks, and Aaron's sticks grew almonds on it. It came back to life. It had vegetation on it. And God tells Moses to take the stick and put it into the Holy of Holies to be a reminder to the Jewish people that their quarrels and their rebellions against Moses, against the leaders, should cease from happening. But what's the deeper significance here? I want to share with you a few ideas that connect to what the Rebbe taught us and who the Rebbe was to us. The first thing God was telling the Jewish people is that the true definition of a leader is someone who could take something that seems dead, that seems like it has no life left, that's been cut off from its source totally, and bring it back to life, rehabilitate it, rejuvenate it, and make it grow again, make it be connected back to its source and live again. That's the definition of leadership. Ultimately, what does true leadership mean when you see something dying and cut off from its source and you're able to bring it back to life, you let it grow again? And that's what the Rebbe taught us. And that's what the Rebbe did. The Rebbe came after the Holocaust, when Jews seemed cut off from every source of life. And the Rebbe breathed life into us. He made us grow again. He taught us to sing again, to live again, to be positive, to see the good, to see the joy, to build, to create, to love. In fact, one of the stories Elie Wiesel always speaks about is how he didn't want to get married. He couldn't, after what he saw in the Holocaust, after what he saw in Buchenwald, he said, how can I do this to another generation? And the Rebbe encouraged him to get married. And he always speaks about, the Rebbe wrote him letters about getting married, and the Rebbe reminds him, and he always said that after he got married, there was a bouquet of flowers that the Rebbe sent to wish him Mazel Tov. That was the story of the Rebbe. The Rebbe took people who were totally cut off, who saw no reason to live, who saw no reason to grow, and gave them life again. The second thing is like this. In the beginning of Korach, we read about the earth swallowing all the people. Sometimes you can win someone over through something drastic. God killed them all. But ultimately, the true way of winning is through bringing people into idea, to explaining them, to understand and join the idea. And that's ultimately what God tells Moses. Take the staffs and let them see what grows. And ultimately what happened was that the only way Aaron took his staff together with the other staffs. Not only did Aaron's staff grow, but ultimately he impacted the others to grow. Because what God was teaching us is that ultimately you win with ideas. You win with truth. And that's what the Rebbe taught us. To unite, to bring together, to explain, to teach, to show the love, the joy, the warmth of Yiddishkeit, of tradition, of Torah, of mitzvahs. And that's how you win people over, to be inspired, to get reconnected to their source and to rejuvenate. You think about today, how many thousands of Chabad centers there are. You think about how many Jews are impacted every single day by Chabad. And where would world Jewry be, especially after October 7th, without the leadership of so many Chabad rabbis? To me, it's personal. I grew up at the Rebbe's feet. The Rebbe showed such love and attention to all of us, even little children, even though there were thousands of us. And he inspired us. He lit our candle, not to become followers, but to each become a leader and create and inspire. And if there's any message we should receive this Shabbos as we get ready to celebrate and commemorate his 30th Yartzeit, Shloshim 30 is Koach, it says in the Torah. Show strength. We should recognize the strength of the past 30 years, how much Chabad has grown. And we should each take it to heart to be leaders, to inspire, to help others grow, to help others connect to their Judaism, to godliness. And may Hashem bless us that we should merit the ultimate redemption. May it happen speedily in our days, when we will be reunited with all our loved ones. And of course, the Rebbe. Have a good Shabbat.